All too often we hear about scammers, whether they're hacking your phone, social media accounts, or even bank accounts. It never seems to stop. And now, Central Maine Power officials are warning their customers after seeing a surge in utility scams. CMP spokesperson John Breed wants to warn customers over an alarming amount of phone scams. As technology continues to develop, you can never be too careful. He shared a few tips on how you can identify a phone scam immediately.
Scammers, when calling, will often ask for non-refundable forms of payment, like a gift card or a green dot card. If a customer ever is specifically asked for something of that nature, they should flag it as a potential scam. We will never ask for payment in that form.
Breed also mentioned if they're calling a customer, they will have the name of the customer, their account information, and past billing amounts to verify that CMP is calling.